Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the bottom or top right side is the green House of Lancaster. House of Lancaster, we got Kiljardi. Spawn on the left side is the magenta Ottoman. We got liquid DeMu. Looks like going around for a bit of stone into the Imperial Academy, I'm guessing, or military school. Yes, he will. When it comes to map generation, let's see, we've got a deer deposit, 2 gold and stone here, quite a bit congested resources here. Magenta has some 3 safe gold deposits back this direction. It looks like there's actually natural there. Look at that distance for that gold. That seems particularly far. Maybe that's that's actually the natural, isn't it? Seems a little bit far, but it's also a little bit uphill. Not really. Additional things to note when it comes to map generation. Let's see, we've got deer deposit here, deer deposit here. We got a castle Landcaster here in between all the gold, so it's going to get some good defense as well as some good economy with the future manors. We've got Pumbaa and deer up north of a pile of berries, but another side has improved berries. It looks like Magenta's going to take time to herd some deer. If he needs the sheep over here sooner, he can just simply order them to walk over there. One of the deer is spread a little bit wide. We do now have the twin meteorites being plowed in the field. And some of these deer may scatter. Yep, looks like the final bit of the deer herding did get knocked around a bit because the villagers nearby. Not a massive issue. Green scout there. And we got the spearman push way forward. Castle Lancaster is basically a glorified outpost, but makes all of his nearby manors also glorified outposts. Twin meteorites almost completed in the field, which will effectively give him 4 villages worth of good food income. It's effectively 4 villages on board permanently. It is better than a lot of counterparts. I think the closest counterpart to that would probably be the Cura storehouses, which can give you more farms. Well, of course, regular farms. Spearman just moving around. Sheeple has been obtained. Magenta could try herding these deer back home. It's just a deer deposit of 5, so it's not a big deer deposit. It's a small deer deposit, but not a small one in the form of 3 deer. These other ones are also 5 deer deposit, but they are next to boar. But of course, Ottoman, being Islamic, can't eat boar, because pig is haram. Do now these scout escorting these sheep. Magenta dropped off some sheep there. First vizier points almost available. Multiple manors now being pulled in the field. We'll soon have to be 3 out of 3 manors, but going for the condensed land practices research soon. First vizier point's probably pretty close. Does stab on the sheep. Sheep is down. One more experience point for, experience point for a vizier point. Does have it available, and does go for N20 heals. Give him 10 sheeple, and of course improves mining speed by 15%. So he has a lot of food at home. He has 24 sheep, which each one carries 200 food, so that's 4,800 food. Get another sheep, and you have 5,000 food in storage. You now have some Sipahi on the build queue, the heaviest of the light cavalry. Good number of manors there. Completely surround this gold deposit. Maybe the next set of 3 manors should be near the stone and gold. But then again, the manors may provide a basic defensive arrow emplacement, but also taking out those manors is a high priority target because each one provides a decent amount of income. So you don't really want to push them too far forward. Actually getting behind the castle Landcaster is actually quite important. He's now going for the muster of nobles for some demi-lancers. You will have these number of demi-lancers. I still don't really understand these guys all too much. They are horrible in damage. They are classified as heavy cav. They do have 2/2 armor, so some of the sofas in that aspect, and some less. Wait, that's less health than supply, isn't it? What's the Sipahi? They have less health, less damage. What's their attack speed? Standard 9 attack speed, but they have less DPS, less damage than the Sipahi in 1v1 combat. But of course, it is a spawn of 8 of them very quickly. I never understand demi-lancers. You can only really deploy them out in large numbers from the Warren Guard Palace. But even then, even if they get, like, say, +4 damage for +4 keeps, I don't think that's worth it still. Sipahi are going to be perfectly adequate when fighting against demi-lancers. He does have a handful of spearmen still left over. They will be still quite nice in this aspect, even if they are just Dark Age spearmen. We've got the veterans, or hardened spearmen now being researched by the House of Landcaster, which they can get the Billman upgrade, which makes them very reasonable versus heavy targets. We got some yeomen being put on the field, so overall I think more Sipahi will be very useful, but he is starting to point some spearmen to go along with him, so some archers will still be needed in order. Though maybe going for a point into the Akinji system to get these unique cavalry archers. I can't remember what the stats are. I've seen them like once or twice before, but that was when like their first release. Sipahi do fall back, but there is a scout to scout for them. Good number of Sipahi in the field, 6, soon to be 8 Sipahi. Number of battering rams in the field. Most of the House of Lancaster players are going to try to close out the game sooner rather than later. Battering rams now advancing. Mehed, Imperial Armory being deployed in the field. I always like seeing the other landmark, because now with the more Vizier points, there's actually a lot more valuable things that you can get with Viziers. Towns are taking some damage there. This is a secondary town center. While I just get the village, evacuate the villagers out of there. We got the Billman upgrade. We do have textiles researched by the Ottoman player, and he has plenty of food back here in the meantime. And with Billman, his spearmen will be decent versus any man-at-arms, but of course it'll be Castle Age man-at-arms versus Feudal Age spearmen, so not great. Veteran Sipahi research on the way. I think man-at-arms will be a good item. There is a metro on the build queue for this military school. Military school does go down, a bit of a loss. Taking on the housing is actually quite important right now. 61 out of 70 population. Spotty push way forward. They got activate fortitude to really pick up these batter rams. He still has some Dark Age Spearmen left over on the field. DeMu Lancers are advancing. That's actually a safe engagement. Yeoman right now have 6 damage. Veteran Sapahi right now has 4 range armor. They get the 5 with the Black Stuff Research. Make them effectively take 1 damage to the Yeoman. So right now these Sapahi are going to be very excellent, barring the Billmen on the field. Another scout moving around.
It shall be timbered.
Battery ram now being built. We have these Billmen heading down south with the Yeomen. Villagers could be hit here. I don't know if Green actually has vision of them all too well. In line of sight vision. The Head and Pure Armory may actually go down here. He's trying to repair it up for some villagers. But he's out of wood. He, I think, bought some wood there. He's going to lose some of these villagers here. Spotty trying to find the Yeoman. Some of the DeMu Lancers find some villagers. Those are going to stand and fight. They will actually do decent versus the DeMu Lancers. Free Maganel now deployed in the field, and Hidden Pure Armory has been saved. And the village count has been called down, so they're equal once again. He did go for these cavalry archers. Okay. Let's see. They do cost 80 in wood as well, not a gold unit, which is a good alternative for some of his units, especially compared to Janissaries. And he is deploying out one now, so... And he actually has a handful in the field. Let's see if we can't find one. That's Spahi. Here we go. 9 damage, a burst of 2. That is interesting. It's relatively slow attack speed. Their tile range is 4.5, so much higher than Megadai. But they offer... So they're high damage, but less effective versus armor. So against Billmen and against the Yeoman, they will do some good damage. They have 105 health, which is higher than most other cavalry archers this age. So they're a little bit more durable than most, I think, horse archers. Yeah, horse archers are... The Roost horse archers like 90 health. I forget what Magadais are at this age. But Magadai is also more expensive. Of course, they're not out on the field in large numbers, but they have also slow attack speed. Yeoman still in very good numbers, so most probably still in order. Man-at-Arms and Lancers will both be very useful. We've got now Spring Gold production from the Hidden Pure Armory, very nice. Sapahi is at 5 range armor, thanks to nearby Meter, very, very nice. Plus 1 range armor is going to be very useful if he goes for it. Or plus 2 range armor. Meter does go down. Yeomen do have good range though, that's the big problem with these cavalry archers. Akanji, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not going to try anymore. How's the Landcaster has exactly 0 gold? How did he manage that? Arm player does have a decent gold reserve. Spahi and these Akanji, they can be a pretty good, nice combo. Spahi do move slower than most of their cavalry. These Akanji do move at night speed. Oh, we got some Hobblers, which is the cheap cavalry variant for the House of Lancaster. That should be particularly effective versus these Kinjis. They do have retained 3 range armor of horsemen, so they can resist quite a bit of the burst damage from these Kinjis. And they do retain horse move speed, they just have less damage and less health. Overall, seems like Sipahi is still a very good choice for the Ottoman player. Though he still has a good number of spearmen in the field, the billmen. Now, if these siege weapons are getting hit by the Hobblers, they do have only +7 versus siege. Nothing too significant. Now got the billmen taking out the Sipahi, taking them on good pretty quickly. They're just repairing up that Maganel. Right now, I think just man-at-arms would be the best option right now for the Ottoman player to deal with this force. He has killed 1 archer. And these yeomen do have an intermediary fast speed. So they're faster than normal spearmen, exceptionally faster than men-at-arms. But they're slower than other fast units, such as Palace Guard, Musvadi, and Musvadi warriors. And now got the Sipahi managed to engage these units. Looks like he does have the... that was just a metric improving their attack speed. Not many spearmen nearby, he could perhaps use the Fortitude ability. Got some villagers getting hit there, so he will lose a handful of villagers. Which I don't know has less villagers than the House of Lancaster, plus there's also 6 remainers in the field, so the House of Lancaster has pretty good economy. Yeah, the Ottoman player may need to rebuild a town center. Couple spearmen push forward. The Ottoman player only has +1 range damage. Is going for +1 melee damage, +1 melee armor. And let's see, how many military academies does he have? There should be a military academy counter up here for the Ottoman player. So he has all 4 of them on the field. Also Vizier points. He has almost another Vizier point available. Has +1 military campus. So he has 2 more Vizier points he can get this game. A lot of good stuff he can get. I'm not a big fan of Janissary companies. We probably will see advanced academies at minimum. And then he has a good choice of the last final tier. Does get advanced campus. This is the economic benefit right now the Ottoman player really has. Let's see, each Sipahi comes out every minute 20. Each Sipahi is worth 160. So minute 20, divide that by 16 by 40, or 4, which equals 40, times that by 3. So each military academy is providing approximately 120 resources, or 3 villagers worth of income in direct unit fabrication. So 4 times 3 is 12. So add plus 12 villagers here versus the plus 12 villagers here. So that's relatively equal at the moment. Of course, Hidden Imperial Armory is providing the Spring Guard. I think it's like 1 every 60 seconds right now, which is pretty good value there as well. And spring dolls are worth 250. So effectively another good hit there. 4 more villages worth of income. And House of Lancaster player is still in age 2. Ottoman player is still age 3. Hasn't really used much high-tech units. Does have the veteran upgrades. Going for some Janissaries. Janissaries will be good versus the Hoblars and decent versus Spearmen. We'll have trouble versus the Yeomans, of course, because Yeoman gets bonus save versus light gunpowder. Battery rams now moving down south. Got a bit of a choke point there. Some of these villagers are getting hit. Bit of a problem there for Magenta. Maganel's getting some great splash damage there. Just have mainly control there to focus on the groups. Some of these villagers are falling back now. There's another 55 villagers, which is still a good problem for Magenta. Only has one level 2 upgrade, and that's for wood collection. And overall, Magenta has now a much higher destroyed value. Now the quality of his units, since he has now a decent amount of force in the field, quality of his units are starting to reign supreme. House of Lancaster is about ready to age on up and just needs a little more gold. Probably go with the White Castle. Or White Tower, I mean. The White Tower now being deployed in the field. Somewhere. Way up here. Relatively greedy. This map, it doesn't have too much gold left on it, does it? We got this very small gold deposit, 1600. We got this 4,000 gold deposit. Yeah, this map is running out of gold pretty quickly, isn't it? This map must be pretty scarce in gold. Which means I think the Ottoman player should go for the trade bags for 0 point. He can rely on non-gold units. He does have Sipahi in the Cavalry Archer. But of course, Janissaries is still pretty much a primary unit of the Ottomans. Magenta's now pushed way forward there. The White Tower will be established next to this gold deposit. Just got this gold deposit now trying to be obtained by green. Magenta though still is claiming from this gold deposit here. It does manage to get 3 relics claimed. 4th relic picked on up. 5th of the relic here. We do now the veteran yeoman. And the veteran billman upgrade. Imam will go down. Magenta has now spot the White Tower. By kicking himself in the head. Not seeing that being deployed there. Got some Hoblars down south. Of course, going for the White Tower does give him, what, 3 Earl's Guards, some free heavy infantry units there, which can throw daggers. So probably just gonna chase these guys down. Yep, just send those guys out, because send the units back up north, try and protect the venison collection, which is almost complete. Gold deposit here, of course. Let's see. Final 0 points almost available. Do now have the units pushed forward. There's a large number of exposed villagers there. Nice little bit of tag off there. Does finish off one of those villagers. Spearman pursuing. Of course, House of Lancaster is English variant, so it does get the ×2 arrow in town centers, and now it will run by all these manors. Last gold is being obtained. The 0 point is available. This is 0, but clearly he has not selected a 4th thing. So just ignore that. Just keep this open now so we can see what it goes for. May not be using it anytime soon. Got a segment of walls there. And we got the billmans and yeomans right here. Looks like Magenta's getting surrounded. Does after the pierce armor. Going to just try to run out of there. Earl's Guard throws his daggers. And is forcing to fall back. Meteor does go down. Wolf run by... Nope, does not necessarily run by the White Tower. Villagers trying to set up next to the stone deposit. Can not put another military school. Green's going for forward to keep. Overlord is pushing forward. Earl's Guard throws a dagger against one of the villagers. Jenna's army is 43 with 16 village population in the Spring Golds. Does pull back away from keep. Short bows fire there. Got precision volley there. Good shots there. Looks like Green's arms getting ripped apart by the Spring Golds. Keep all should be cancelled. Let the villagers run on out of there. That was very, very much in favor of Magenta. Just managed to get a great engagement there. The Spearmen did not last long enough to deal with the Spahi because of those Spring Golds. And it looks like the House of Landcaster player is actually blowing out a large number of Earl's Guards. The Ottoman player does have a decent amount of reserve resources, but not probably on the age up anytime soon. Going for more economic upgrades. Let's see. Got some farms being salvaged there. Maybe a good idea. Just go for another mill just to get better collection. Ottoman player has claimed 4 relics. The 5th relic is still here, which could be grabbed. If the Imam head sounds comes up from the south, grab the relic and go stay for the shrubbery. Could be able to grab it for a quick snatch. Probably does find some more green villagers since Magenta is able to push forward, able to get some good engagements. Earl's Guards push way forward. They, I think, almost identical to mana arms this age. The only thing that's unique about them is they get +1 damage per keep. And of course they have the dagger attack as well. Otherwise, it seems like the same as mana arms. They cost the same as mana arms as well. Oh, looks like he went for the early Great Bombard. I disagree with that. With lack of gold on the map, I think trade bags would have been better. Spahi pursuing those knights. These Spahi are quite wounded at the moment. Last stone has been obtained by Magenta. Not enough stone for anything, really. And looks like Green has a massive stone reserve. I swore I just saw gunpowder shots there. But I was mistaken. You can. House of Landcaster can get early gunpowder units, early hand cannoneers, but of course that requires the other Age 3 landmark. The very fine bombars push right forward. Of course, it is early, so it does deal less damage. Looks like the +3 mana count research has recently been researched. Magenta has a very good number of spring balls from the Imperial Armory. He currently is pop cap as well, or maybe not. That village gets sniped by a 600-pounder. Historically, if I remember correctly, granted each one of these bomb bars are basically unique from each other, but they usually fire 600-pound granite balls, or really any stone they can find nearby to shape into the proper cannonball. But granite cannonballs, 600 pounds is a lot of weight. Back then, cannons were designed to smash, not pierce, but I'd still be very interested in what it looks like for one of these things to be fired against an Abrams tank. What would happen to Abrams tank that gets hit by a 600-pound granite ball? Good shots there onto the keep. Istanbul Observatory now being pulled in the field, improving the production speeds of the blacksmith aura to 100%. Keep taking some damage there. Mangonel's straightforward, starting to stone these villagers to death. Of course, upon aging up, this great bombard will be get some upgrade damage. Right now it says 55, 400 versus buildings, and soon now does 70, 525. We do now have the elite Janissaries, Janissary trench guns, and elite Spahi, and as well as some great precision shot there, out of stone as well, and some biology. Keep gets quickly torched on down. They'll just need to keep on running. Trying to stall up for this elite upgrades, trying to go for a timing attack or timing defense. Green is out of gold. Now I got these knights pushing along the flank. Just regular old knights. Knights being pursued by the elite Spahi. They do split up. Spahi push way forward. We got now that Akin will push way forward. He's some decent damage there. Some of these farms are being set ablaze by rocks. Precision volley does get dodged. Knight still being pursued. Magenta does have less versions than his opponent. And the House of Landcaster player has no gold income. There is still this one gold deposit in the field. There's enough gold from the age uplift. Spahi now charging forward. It does find Earl's Guard. Janissaries advance before. They will see bonus damage from the Yeomans. Janissaries in pretty good concave there. How many meters does he have? There's 9 meters on the field. That may be over amount. But Green's army does get crushed by the high qualityness of Magenta. And without any gold for high quality units to help hold back these units, he may run some big issues. Spearmen and the Billmans would be very useful. Yeomen still be useful. The problem is, that's a lot of spring golds as well. So the Billmen won't last very long. Playing around the White Tower is probably the best course. I actually can't afford a siege weapon, but here comes Sipahi. With biology as well, they have a pretty high quality to their nature, 275 health. They're effectively fighting Age 3 Knights at this point in time. The Magenta smashes his way forward there. Siege weapons, of course, spring balls won't do much for the various structures. Probably could just try to find as much reinforcing military and villagers. Maybe split them off into multiple groups. Two groups to find villagers, one to find the military reinforcements. Let the single Great Bombard engage the White Tower, among everything else. He is sending these reinforcements, and these are mostly yeomen. Not too many yeomens here. Another group of spotty trying to find some villagers. A very fine bombard needs to start putting some more rounds of the White Tower. Or just have green back in the game. As Angry saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.